November 18, 2025, Tuesday. The question of the day. Someone confessed to some money received. Don't know if it's legal or illegal, moral or somehow gray area. He asked you about what to do next because you're a trusted confidant or a person of authority, and it goes without saying that respect overflows. So what do you do if you somehow you didn't solicit that kind of confession, but nevertheless it's given to you? Hello, this is yours truly, Clarice T, and today is the 19th of November, 2025. The answer to the question of the day yesterday about money. It's also related to the question the other day, yesterday. And I find out that it's always good to talk about money, okay? Why? Like in your left hand, you have play money, not true money, okay? So I don't think you would be liable like in money laundering. But uh, yeah, allegation about the you know racket, about like bribery or something of the sort. But the moment that you pay that money, like you try to buy an item using fake money, well, of course, needless to say, that's trouble. And in your right hand, you have plenty of money, real money, whatever currency, US dollars, Philippine peso. And then the transaction is honored because of the face value of the money, because it's a legal tender. So you buy yourself like a house and lot. Um, that can get you anywhere, plane ticket, a holiday, and you paid for them with real money. Of course, it would like you can get away with that, right? But the moment the question has been asked about the origin of the money and you have no answer, that's also trouble. So I am also of the belief that not talking about money, it's not a virtue, but actually it is a handicap. Ignorance of the law excuses no one. So going back to the earlier questions that I had, okay, you called people who think you can give you answers and can help enlighten you about money. So do they know that the one who asked, who had called them up, lives in a real house, and she is not a tenant or a lessee, but that it's a family house? uh, a person like a person who is known to have slush, slush fund, big money, and yet actually it's just a rental, and you cannot trace the family origin, where she came from or where he comes from. That's actually can be compared to, for instance, a person who has called you up in the middle of the night, but that person is living as a rent free in a family house. So it in a family house under the family code of the Philippines, you know that it's traceable, that the registry of deed, that you can ask around like the neighbors, and they would tell you something about the owner or the resident of the house who lives rent free, because it's a family house. So therefore, the legitimacy of getting in touch with people, like even in the wee hours of the night, because you're still working overtime, because maybe tomorrow you need to entertain the credit collector. Maybe you have a check to fund, so you're burning the midnight oil. So like if they are going to judge you just because you had called them up, like ordinarily you don't do that. It's just that there is a situation wherein you need to confer with them, and there is a justification for that, right? So don't make conclusions or judgments. But if you do, and then later on, there is perfectly a good explanation for that, then no harm, no foul. We can still apologize to each other and end with a handshake for the misinterpretation. But if you do not talk and forever swear off, like talking about the topic that had become so um so like blown out of proportion, divided friends, polarized, and became the talk of the town, scandalous behavior. They need to be discussed, isn't it? And shying away from the money side of it, the financial side of it, will not resolve the problem. So fake money used in real transaction, big trouble. Real money used in a legitimate transaction but cannot be explained as to the origin, it's also a problem. So it's not a virtue to avoid all financial talks. Like we have a Tagalog saying, mukha kang pera. You talk and breathe about money. That's the extreme illustration. That's the extreme behavior, of course. But up to a certain point, to know where you are, like in a financial transaction, as far as your credits, your credit ratings are concerned, as far as unpaid debts, as far as the setting of the mediation or the legal aspect of it, the legal action because of your non-payment of your loans or credit or purchases, that is very reasonable to expect. And being in a venue where you can also speak about the reason why you were not able to honor, you cannot pay, that's also an acceptable form of proactive response given my unique situation that is. So if you don't have the same problem, of course, you don't need to go the extra length that I went through.